But I be working. And we all know I'm not real good about coming on here just telling y'all out here full of bull crap. Try to watch my language. But we ain't monetized, so I guess I really ain't got to watch my language. But we just trying to get in the algorithm, man, so more people get the message. Y'all come in, hit the like button, man, the subscribe button if you ain't already a member of the channel. I ain't trying to toot my own horn, but it ain't too many people jumping on her with sincerity, man, giving y'all some real shit. There's a lot of people that are trying to run their numbers up and get their little check. I have never got a YouTube check. Almost 11,000 subscribers. I'm not even looking for a YouTube check. But let's get to it. If you a member, then you got a notification late last night. I posted some pictures. In these pictures, I'm gonna describe what you gonna see if you go look. One picture is a picture of Lil Nas X. One picture is a picture of Cassinet. And the main picture is a picture of Cassinet, Lil Nas X, and another dude, all along with their shirts tied up like they got a bra, like turning their t-shirt to a bra. Now, in this picture, these guys are young. Young. This is like before they got famous. This is before Cassinet was doing any type of streaming services, to my knowledge. I remember seeing dude when he was young. This is younger than that. I remember he used to do the music reviews, and it was satire. Like, people would come and jump on his live stream in the car, and they would play their music for him in the car, and he'd tell them, you know, if they shit bumping or if it ain't. But then there was a couple times where he would do it as a prank. Like, he'd be listening to music, he'd be like, man, I ain't gonna lie, bro, this shit ass, bro. This shit ass, my guy. Like, what the fuck was you thinking? You need to go back to the lab. He'd do people like that, they'd get mad, and they'd, man, it's just a prank, it's just a prank. But why I'm saying that is because this picture that I posted, he is much younger. No dreads, no twists, no none of that. He had a little nappy fro. This is before Lil Nas X is doing Old Town Road. So it's not like Cassinet was a fan and he went to go take a fan picture. No. These dudes are literally sitting up here. Cassinet is doing one of the fruitiest poses of all time with his shirt twisted up. Like, guarantee you, if he did some shit like that today, he would lose over half his followers and gain them back, and they would all be from the Rainbow Coalition. Not saying nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying it ain't for me. It ain't for the people I hang around. But it would show another side of a man that we don't look at like that. So why was he doing it in the beginning? I'm gonna tell y'all something. And I told y'all this before. I'm just gonna tell it to you in a slightly different form. Entertainers and influencers are here to do a job. What job are they doing? Entertaining and influencing. If you know what those words mean, and it's not a trick question, you know what an entertainer does. An entertainer takes your mind to a different place and entertains you. Gets your mind off of what you're going through, or what you've been through, or what's going on. It's entertainment. An influencer gets your attention and influences you to put it somewhere else. They influence you to spend your money somewhere. They influence you to put your attention somewhere, to wear these type of clothes, to talk like this, to express yourself like this, to act and behave like this. You know what I'm saying? To drive this kind of car. It's influence. I told y'all before. I showed y'all how they use kids as entertainers. They find a way to get kids to be the entertainers. So now your kids grow up with these kids being entertained and influenced by them at a young age. And they figure, you know what, get them when they're young, keep them for the rest of their life. We can have King Von and Lil Durk and Young Boy and Kodak Black entertaining these kids from the time they 10, sometimes younger, all the way up to their adulthood. Once the entertainment happens, then we can start influencing with the music. Music is more than just something to listen to. I told y'all this. Music is, and all music is spiritual. Whether it's good or whether it's bad. It's gonna touch your spirit, it's gonna touch your spirit, it's gonna touch your soul. When these kids listen to Spin the Bin, Dr. Switch cheese all day long, that's what they grow up knowing. That's what they grow up looking up to. It went from entertaining to influence. They being influenced by a dude named NBA Youngboy, just unaliving people every song. But in reality, the man been sitting on Grave Digger Mountain, safe and sound. Ain't got no ops in real life. Ain't nobody trying to get to Grave Digger Mountain to get the dude. They can make up all this fake influence in Baton Rouge and say, well, if you go back to Baton Rouge, man, look at her. One thing about it is that the entertainment business has always tried to maintain and tell you this is an influence, y'all. I hope you hear me when I say this. These millionaires, these people that they get rich and bring out the hood, and every song tell you, well, I can go back to my hood. Why would you want to? Why would you want to? You don't. You want us to think that we're supposed to always be in the hood. We're supposed to always be loyal to the hood. We're supposed to always want to get back to the hood. No, nigga, we want up out of there. Don't nobody want to wake up around that shit every day just because you woke up around that shit every day. Make it make sense. They don't have to. All they have to do is make it sound good over a hard ass beat. And now kids just like us, when we was young or being raised thinking, I can always go back to the hood. Nigga, I don't want to go back to the hood. Later on today, I'm going back to Fort Smith, a city where I was partially raised in. I'm going to see my family. Do you think that I want to pull up in Fort Smith and go back to the hood? Go back to the old stomping grounds, back to where I used to do dirt at, back to where I used to get arrested at? No. Man, fuck them places. I wish the best for the people in them. Hope they get out one day. But I done got out, I'm not going back. What? I don't want to go hang out in the projects I used to hang out at. I don't want to go none of that. I did it already. I didn't like it when I was there. I didn't sleep good. Didn't eat good. I didn't feel good. Why would I want to go back just say, yep, made it out? Shit, I can look around me right now and say, made it out. I can jump on here and tell the rest of them, hey, y'all make it out too, might be praying for you. But anyway, let's break down this Illuminati thing, man. First of all, I found out about the Illuminati in prison. I started reading about it. And I was conflicted when I came home. I'm gonna tell you some names of books I read. I read a book called Behold the Pale White Horse. Behold the Pale White Horse. I read a book called The Bush Crime Family. I read a book called Children of the Matrix. And probably a couple more. But these books explain a lot of stuff about the Illuminati and the 13 families and who they are, like the Rockefellers and Rothschilds and all these people. Another book I read, Blue Blood, True Blood. All this stuff breaks down the past of the Illuminati, but the Illuminati has shape-shifted, however you want to say it. That's why when I came home from prison and everybody was talking about Jay-Z was part of the Illuminati, I'm like, nigga, it's pure blood, bro. They don't fuck with low-level ass niggas like Jay-Z. Jay-Z has nothing to offer them. Boy, was I wrong. So now let me connect the dots and what I had to come to realize about these low-level rappers and shit like that, black folks that's in the Illuminati and what their role is. The Illuminati runs the world, and the way they run the world is because they have secrets. That's why it's a secret society. They have secrets as old as time. Knowledge that they have acquired and withheld from the rest of the world. And they use this knowledge and they use these methods to keep control. And the root word of everything going on is control. If you can control a person, if you can control a group, if you can control a city or continent, you can control people's mind, and it's a lot of stuff wrapped up in it. Mind control, all that. Then you can control the world. So let me break down how the influencers and the entertainers come into play. The deals that change the world, shake the world, and mold the world are not always deals that the world would agree with. So these deals are done during events put on by entertainers. They pay these entertainers a whole lot of money. LeBron James is a billionaire. $1 billion is a lot of money. They just sold Lakers for $10 billion. The richest LeBron James is, the richest Kanye West is, the richest Jay-Z is. They wasn't gonna come together and have $10 million to buy the Lakers. You see what I'm saying? So they're not really rich, are they? Now think about this. You got a dude like Elon Musk with billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars. Don't give a fuck about owning the LA Lakers. It ain't shit to him. There's that petty money. Owning a basketball franchise. I don't give a damn how many jerseys they sell, how many shoes they sell, how many tickets they sell, how many hot dogs, how many beers. That ain't gonna make me no money. That's what he's sitting there thinking. I don't give a damn if they have 82 games a year and they sell 20,000 hot dogs at every game for $7 a hot dog, and they sell 50,000 beers at every game for $14 a beer. That's not gonna make me no money. I don't give a damn if they sell out every ticket and the tickets is $400, $500, $700, $800. That's not gonna make me no money. If you sell 100,000 tickets, 80-some thousand times a game, that's not no money, bro. You add all that shit up together, $25 parking, $50 parking. That's not no money, bro. We thinking shit, man, just give me one night. Give me all that shit for one night. Fuck 80-some nights a year. Fuck the low-level franchises up under them. And why are you going, what you doing? A dude like Elon Musk looking like, bro, that's not no money. If it make me $1 billion this year, that's not no money. It's a hassle. I'm not going to deal with it. I'd rather sell this car and make $10 billion this year. I'd rather sell my soul and hook up with Donald Trump and make everybody go buy a Tesla. I'd rather give a couple Cybertrucks to a couple rappers and make all the rappers go buy the Cybertrucks. That's a little bit of money.
Take the exit on the left to Oklahoma
You see what I'm
11
saying?
or Tulsa
So,
International Airport.
let's get back to your entertainment. The world is making their deals. Doing events like World Cup, National Pennant, World Series, Super Bowl, Drake versus Kendrick. They had a lot of people talking. They had a lot of people not paying attention to what was going on. A lot of people missed a lot of shit. I'm going to give you an example of what happened while that shit was going on. Donald Trump got back in office.
Take the exit on the left.
Can you tell me how? Hell no. Because you was occupied. You was occupied. Like just slid right on up in it, bitch. But I've been telling y'all for a long time. I'm like, man, look at here. Entertainers get paid very handsomely to keep your eyes on them. On their basketball, on their football, on their baseball, their soccer ball, on their concert, on their billboard, on their movie, on their TV show, whatever. See, they go to a dude like 50 Cent, like, hey man, you got some of the most popular shows on the network, but this is what we need from you. We gonna hold this show back a year because we got some shit coming up, and your show is one of the things we gonna use to keep everybody from watching what we got going on. They gonna be watching
In 4.5 miles, keep left to enter
the new episodes of Tommy and Tariq. They're gonna be watching the new Tommy show, the new season of the Tommy show. They're gonna be watching the new season of Raising Canaan. But just because it's done don't mean we can put it out and to build the anticipation. How about we tell them that you're gonna cancel the show and you're gonna not finish it or whatever? Do the same thing with BML. Tell them it ain't coming out. That way, when it do come out, they're gonna be so excited to see it. It's the bait and switch. Tell you one thing, and as soon as we get you ready to do one thing, we switch it up and do something else. You'd be so grateful that you flock to it. But when that ain't working, well, fuck it. Create a streaming service where they can go back and watch it later on when they can binge watch it. With 1,000 other shows they ain't never heard of. That's entertainment, man. It's gonna keep your mind focused on something besides what's gonna help us. What's going to help the world? What's going to help the country, the nation? What's going So now let's get to the influences. That's the thing that cleared up a lot of everything for me. Same way they use rappers. You take a dude like Tanae, 8, 9, 10 years old, and you start grooming. You tell him what you want, you show him what you want. Build him up slowly but surely. And don't get it fooled. Y'all all heard of the algorithm. The algorithm can be manipulated and controlled by the higher ups. The same way they did with Drake. Let me explain to you. We're gonna get back to Snack. Let's talk about Drake and Kendrick for a minute. Take a dude like Drake, and he make all the fun music, and he's so different than the shoot 'em up bang bang that you're getting from Kodak Black and Young Boy and all these other folks. He different than all that. So the ladies love him. The soft dudes who ain't from the hood, they love him. The dudes who want to have fun, they want to go out to the club and not think about their life, they love him. He's an entertainer, the perfect entertainer. He's an actor. So he's going to act like however they want him to act. He do every type of music. There's no morals, there's no character. He's an actor. He's whatever script they hand him. If they hand him a Caribbean script, then he going to make a Caribbean song. if they hand him a British accent song, that's what he gonna do.
In 1 mile,
If they want him
keep
bag
left
to
20
back,
40
talking that
degrees.
hard shit, that gangster shit, then that's what he gonna do. Whatever they say do, he gonna do. Perfect. But in real life, he's old light-skinned Jewish dude, he's no threat. We can make him filthy fucking rich. He's no threat. He's not gonna undermine us. He's not gonna grow a conscience one day and say, you know what? Black people, listen to me. I'm for the lead y'all about this struggle. I'm for to show y'all how it go. I'm for to give y'all some of these tricks and trades that they use on y'all and show you how to get out of it. They don't have to worry about that with Drake. So they build Drake up as one of the top entertainers, influencers. Slowly but surely, when they see he get enough
Keep left 44 east.
of us watching him, then they start telling, hey man, you got the influence now, paint your fingernails. We're gonna emasculate these dudes. Every picture you take, I want to see their pretty duck face, through them duck lips. Put the Borettes in your hair. We ain't gonna do too much, but we're gonna do just enough to where we can start feminizing these dudes. You think Drake ain't gonna go for it? I just told you that's what he here for. To do whatever they say do. That's why they manipulate the algorithm for him. When he drop an album, y'all heard the people complaining about the Scorpion album, how no matter what they type in on what streaming service, the Drake album popped up. Drake song started playing. People type in, give me a playlist with no Drake music. Scorpion album pop up.
In 3/4 of a mile, take exit 13B on the right to US 169 south.
That's that algorithm for you. When I first noticed the algorithm, I don't listen to Drake, so it wasn't for Drake, but they kind of could have me with that if they wanted to. It was Migos.
Take exit 13B on the right to US 169 south.
Bad and Bougie song. I noticed that every time I went on YouTube, no matter what song I played, I could go search a song. Let's just say Mariah Carey. I can go type in Mariah Carey, and they would play the Mariah Carey songs I typed in, but when it went off, I heard that raindrops. I'm like, damn, again? I can leave that song and go type in Twister, and when Twister stopped playing, raindrops, drop top. Smoking on cookies in the hot box. I'm like, man, why is they said it? Then, after I realized, I'm like, man, why is they said playing this song? After I started asking myself this question, that's when I started hearing that, Migo, Bad and Bougie, and breaking all the streaming records is being requested. I'm like, no, it's not being requested. They're forcing the song on niggas because I didn't even like the song. And it ain't that I didn't like the song, it's just that they were forcing it on me so hard that I didn't like the song. The song was blowing up. The song was getting bigger and bigger by the minute. And I understood why, because they took over the algorithm, they pushing this song. No matter what you want to hear, this is what you're gonna hear. Same way people saying that they was getting done with Drake. No matter what you wanted to hear, you were gonna hear some Drake. And then they were gonna look back at it and they say, well, this is the biggest artist. Y'all made this dude the biggest artist. People ain't wanting to hear this shit. This ain't like not like us, where everybody was calling the radio requesting this shit all day, every day. You can see it. People go on the streaming service requesting this shit all day, every day. They paying to hear it. You can see it. They buying the albums. You can say they're not, but if they're not, then explain to me how Kendrick Lamar and SZA just got the record of all time of co-headlining concerts. They made the most money, like 520-something million. They got 18 shows left to go over in Europe. They now in top both of Beyonce and Jay-Z tours. On the Run 1 and on the Run 2, and they got 18 shows left to go. They probably gonna add another 100 to 200 million on this show. with these next 18 shows. But what I'm saying is, these folks build up these entertainers from scratch. You can go see, I told y'all, most of the entertainers is really out here making money. These people have been getting built up and handled since they were kids. I don't care what the movies say. I don't care what none of that say. You take these players and you look at their parents, and it's like, if your parents wasn't guiding you and helping you, building you up through some shit that they had knowledge of, you're not going to explain to me how you got so good at it. And you ain't going to tell me that somebody didn't handle you. Somebody didn't bring you up. And I explained this to y'all a long time ago. I said, look, when you look at Serena Williams, Venus, their daddy worked with them. Kids. That's how they became great. You look at Tiger Woods, daddy worked with them. From a kid, became great. The exception is when you look at a dude like LeBron James and say, you know what? I can't tell you the dude that was a pro athlete that was working with him from a kid, but what I can tell you is, as a kid, that man was already great. We saw that at 13 years old. That man was a master of his trade, genius at his craft. He had the body, he had the techniques, everything at 13. Coming from the dirt. Every once in a while, we think we found another great child that they grew up and learned how to do something so good, they taking over the world with it. And then a picture or a video pop up and let you know, no, he had a handle. They looked at Kodak Black, I'm like, I remember when he was rapping in the projects.
On the right.
Then I see the video of him talking about going to go do movies and TV shows at Nickelodeon. And this is younger than Project Baby. And I'm like, oh, you was being groomed. You was already in studios. You was already being prepped for TV and everything else when you were 8, 9 years old. You grew up rapping in the projects at 14, 15, but them folks already had a hand on you for years before you got there. They made it look good. They made it look authentic. From the Pork and Breed Project. That's why I say, man, look, Kodak Black don't have that Haitian accent, bro. He developed that Haitian accent. He learned that. He ain't never been to Haiti, though. So you got to explain this shit.
Expressway.
I'm Haitian. I don't have a Haitian accent. I didn't grow up around a bunch of Geechee dudes or a bunch of Haitian people. I didn't grow up in Haiti. So no, I'm not gonna sound like that. But what I'm saying is, if you sound like me at 9, don't come to me at 14 with a Haitian accent, and you ain't never stepped foot inside Haiti. You lived in Miami. You never went to Little Haiti until a couple years ago, and you were scared as hell then to go out there. What's up, Tank? When you start getting the whole story on these dudes, man, like I remember when they was making it seem like Kodak was that demon, and he had something to do with his head getting cut off and left in the driveway. No such thing. It was it's kind of like Memphis. There was a war going on in Miami between two gangs. And Wiz was caught in the middle. Them folks were going back and forth. Wiz was not the first or the only person to lose his life in that war. He was just the most famous person. It was a lot of vicious, cruel activity going down. Baby mamas and everything getting slaughtered in this war. And rappers let you attach their name to something without ever coming out to confirm it. Like Finesse 2 Times did in my city when they shot up his show, and it made world news because it was violent. So many people got hit, and he went to jail not long after. So he let people think that he went to the feds behind that shooting like it had something to do with him. Nothing to do with him. That was Bloods and Crips, nigga. Finesse fight. I know some of the people behind that shit. I'm still wondering why the city ain't pinpointed exactly who behind it. I have. I'm not no dummy. First of all, I'm a street nigga, so I know who was at war. I know who was there and who showed up shooting. I also know the millionaire whose nephews it was that showed up shooting. That same millionaire was outside the club in his motherfucking pajamas talking to the news. Why in the fuck is you here in your goddamn pajamas right after the shoot? Because dumbass niggas like to see they work. Dumbass niggas do big shit like that, they want to see the aftermath. So they be on the scene. That's human nature. You see that in all the movies, all the TV shows, how the guilty party come back and the police be out there doing that shit and they be standing to the sideline. This dumbass motherfucker hop on the news. And I said, how dumb can you be? How dumb can you be? And I don't need no motherfucker saying that if you get caught now, it's my fault. Because guess what? I ain't do the shit. If you get caught for doing some shit you did, it's your fault. Dumbass nigga. I wouldn't give a damn if you get caught or not. 28 people that shot that night. Niggas need closure anyway. But I'm not gonna put your name out there.
Please reduce speed.
Either way it go. These entertainers, man, are paid to keep y'all looking a different direction. These influencers are paid to get y'all to go in the direction they want y'all in. So when you take a dude like Cassinet and you break his spirit, you break his will at such a young age, the same way did he do these grown folks. If it's working on the grown folks and they scared to come out and say, man, dude did this to me. How you think a kid like Cassinet gonna be when you done did something fruity to him? Got him sitting there with his shirt tied up. Everybody like Lil Nas X. Lil Nas X came out of the car and was like, fuck it, I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Cassinet like, I'm just doing what y'all tell me to do.
Please reduce speed.
Y'all remember when the Drake and shit beef was going down? All these different influencers was taking up with Drake and they were like, nah, man, Kendrick, that ain't it, man. Drake was never winning. After Kendrick dropped his first song, Drake was never winning after that. When Euphoria dropped, man, it was over with. Yeah, dude came back. With Family Matters, whatever it is, Family Matters. Man, you wasn't winning nothing after that. He didn't give you enough time. Meet the Graham came out. Nobody was talking to your mama, your daddy, and your son. How could you possibly be winning? We was laughing at you from that point forward. There was nothing else to be said. You tried again. Everybody came out with that, They Not Like Us, and it was been a rap ever since. But what I'm saying is, you had Cassinet listen to the music, fake dance, they called him out, they were like, man, we just seen you react to too much shit, bro. That's a fake reaction. You're not really feeling that shit the way you acting like you is. When he dropped the whatchamacallit album, some Sexy Songs for You album, he wanted us to believe That album was popping like that. That album was popping like that. I remember Gilly the Kid and them acting like he's sitting in the car talking about Kendrick didn't do that. And the shit wasn't all that good, man. It was garbage truck juice, and next thing you know, him and Wallow signing $100 million contract. I remember Mason Cam saying Drake was winning, and while they were saying it, they were wearing them but OVO gear, head to toe hats, leather jackets, you know what I'm saying, all that. They were OVO from the head to floor. All I'm saying is, man, you gotta watch the people that you watch. You gotta watch the people that you watch.
These are your speed.
Like on some real shit, man. These folks don't mean you no good. I told y'all about LeBron and how he came up and he didn't need them. He didn't need their handlers, he didn't need their influence. He was his own machine from the time he was a kid. And since he was a kid, he ain't done nothing wrong. But they hate him. They spend their whole everything trying to tear him down. They tear down the relationship he got with his kid. They sent Gates to come and tear down the relationship he got with his wife. Meanwhile, nigga, you done lost how many wives this year? In the last 2 years? Don't tell us about this man's wife. You a Muslim and you shit talking about how white women look at this black man. We don't want to hear that bullshit, nigga. You want your wife to look at you the way the white women look at LeBron. Bruh, neither one of your wives will be looking at you. They both somewhere else. They elsewhere place. I'm just saying, man, you have to open your mind. You have to pay attention. I would love to sit on here and break down the whole illuminati and everything with y'all, man. I'm gonna show you another way these folks would create a film. Right under your nose, right before your eyes, you won't see it. Y'all remember the BET Award when Taraji P. Henson didn't know who Keith Lee was? And he was so mad, like, bitch, you better. He knows how big he gonna be. He don't realize he not that big. So for you not to recognize him and hurt his feelings, it threw him for a loop because he understands that, hey, man, these folks that made me these promises, I know what I got coming. I know I got TV shows coming. I know I got movies coming. I'm an influencer. I influence what you eat. Now put it like this. How many of y'all know Keith Lee from being a food influencer or a food critic? How many of y'all know Keith Lee from being an MMA fighter? How many of y'all know Keith Lee from being the Crip on the TV show All American? Is it starting to register yet? You see what I'm saying? Is it starting to register yet? How does an MMA fighter go from MMA cage fight to being the top food critic on the internet? How does a food critic go from being an actor? I mean, from food critic to being an actor? On one of the biggest shows on Netflix. What did you do for these folks? For them to take you and make you what you have became. You're not even there yet, but I'm just saying, you're the top food critic on the whole internet. You so big with food critics that if you walked in a room But Gordon Ramsay, half of the people in there wouldn't know who he was, but they would know who you were. You such a food critic that if you stop by a nigga food truck, they gonna sell out. Not just that day. If you say the food good, they gonna sell out every day. From that point forward. Who approved your taste buds to be the best in the world? The dudes, them higher ups, the ones that say, you know what? Every time you do a food critic show on YouTube, we're gonna push you and we're gonna put you in front of so many people that you're gonna become famous. People gonna know you. The sad part about the internet is that people see your face so many times, not only are you famous, but you can also tell them what to do when they listen. They learned that from Steve Harvey. They put Steve Harvey's face on so many shows in front of you so many times, they turned him into America's Uncle Steve. Anything he tell you to do, you gonna do. I said, niggas a gatekeeper. I said, I don't trust him. I don't listen to him. The nigga write books on relationships. Can't keep one. Can't keep a wife. The wife he got now told him before they got married, I don't want you. You don't make enough money for me. She was dating Dope Boy. Dope Boy went to prison. See, he got rich. Now they married. For sure. Man, shout out to all my Asians. You know when I be in Miami, I got to go to the Haiti. I don't care how dangerous people say it is. One thing about me is I don't fear my people. I understand my people. I understand what they've been through. I understand what they're going through. And I know I started out early and I was about going back to the hood. I don't consider going to Little Haiti going to the hood. I consider that trying to find a piece of my heritage. In Arkansas, there's very few Haitian people. But I still got my Haitian flag on my license plate. I still wear my shirts. I still wear my bandanas, my flags, all that. And not just on Haitian flag day. I just want to educate all our people, man. When I say our people, I ain't just talking about Haitians, I ain't just talking about even just black people. And on that note, I feel like I must say this again. One thing that I be so sick of on the internet is all these recycled shows talking about how the Latinos and the Mexicans are mad at the black folks and the black folks ain't gonna help them. And first of all, I'm gonna call bullshit when I see it. We all in the same boat, metaphorically speaking. What they do, one group of us, they will come back and do to the next group of us. That's why I be so mad at black people about that, because I'm like, look, they already did to us. They sharpening up their blade and their skills and their technology and how they do it with the Mexicans. And if it work on them, then they gonna try it on more people. I be trying to point out to y'all what I I see. Because I realize that I see things different than everybody else. Everybody else be looking down here at the ground right around their feet. And I'm seeing shit 10 miles down the highway. And what I see down the highway is the age-old adage of together we stand, divided we fall. We do not have a majority in this country. But we have a fighting chance if we all come together, black and brown. So long as they put these videos out, they trying to convince us that, hey man, black people ain't working with the brown people. Brown people ain't working with the black people. Let me ask you this. Who the fuck does that benefit? The enemy. The people who doing us both wrong. I told y'all before, man, this is a brand new Willie Lynch syndrome. As long as they can keep you focused on the differences, you ain't gonna be able to focus on the similarities, on the coming together part. So I saw one woman say, man, why the hell we gonna help them? They over here killing us. They ain't doing nothing but deporting their ass. They brought us over here. They trying to get them away from her. Say, man, you don't have to explain to me the difference. I know the differences. But let me tell you something. Look at the similarities. The similarities is neither one of us is them. They've been doing us wrong so long, and they've been looking at we mad because we've been trying to tell the brown people all this time, hey man, they don't like you, man. They don't like y'all. They call y'all the new niggas. Because y'all the new motherfuckers over here with the cheap labor, the cheap work. Y'all the new motherfuckers over here speaking the language they don't understand, and they don't like that shit. See, they tell y'all, we speak English in America. They used to tell us that. Speak English. Your name ain't, you can't tell your name, Toby. Now they tell your name ain't Hector. Your name is Henry. You see, your name ain't Felipe. Your name is Philip. Nah, dog. That's what I'm saying. They don't like Mexicans because they can't strip them of their heritage and their language and their customs and all that shit that they did to us. They want to. They wish they could. They gonna smile in your face. And that's the thing that the Mexicans say, they was looking at us and looking down on us so long that they didn't look up to see the smile on these folks' face. While they was talking about us, they was talking about y'all. They were being condescending, saying the shit about us, meaning about y'all. Y'all was sucking it up. I'm not gonna be mad at you for that, because guess what? We fell for some shit, for some tricks they had too. How the fuck you think we ended up over here? The Indians fell for some tricks they had too. How the fuck you think they ended up on the reservation? I'm in Oklahoma right now. The reservation right there. I'm riding past it. The Chinese people fell for some tricks they had too. Brought them over here, made them put their railroad together. And then told them, I take your ass to Chinatown. I'm heading to Fort Smith. You think the Asian people ain't got their own village down there? The Vietnamese, the Laotians, man, these folks that pull the wool over everybody's eyes. And then they got us mad at each other down here in property, so we stay down here in property. And instead of us coming together, what we do? Watch basketball, watch football, go see the new movie, go to the concert. We get fooled by the entertainers and the influencers. We don't got time to come together. We're too busy being entertained. We don't got time to reflect on our sorrows and our mishaps and our missteps because we're too busy being entertained and influenced. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be in the algorithm because I'm going to influence you to better yourself. The nigga like Castanet going to influence you to listen to Drake, who's going to keep you busy when you should be focusing on bettering yourself, your community, and this world. But since we didn't do it, guess who's doing it for? Donald Trump. What UCC you talking about? Explain it to me. Say the word, not the acronym. I'm just saying, man, all this shit go hand in hand. When you want to know how they keep us so behind, so locked down, so tied down, so held back, man, all this shit go hand in hand. You gotta realize, man, when you look at a nigga like Diddy, everybody focus on the personal Diddy, like what he did. Y'all not focused on what he did and how it benefited the Illuminati, how it benefited the higher ups, how he used that in parties to entrap folks. Now they work for us, not us, but now they work for them. See how Usher always want to tell what happened, but he never tell what happened. He still hang around Diddy. See how Justin Bieber, he can't take it. So what is he? He's an outcast. When was Justin Bieber's last big album? When was the last time he did something that, you know what I'm saying? When you ain't going along to get along, they gonna fuck up their shining star. Not to the best of my knowledge. If I am, it ain't because I'm purposely trying to do it. It's just because it's something that caught my attention and I fuck with it. And with me, that's a lot of things. Like almost everything I do, I'm self-taught. Example, I went to barber school and graduated, but my learning how to cut hair came at home after school. Like I would only do the bare minimum in school because I was nervous, I was intimidated. But then I would go home where I didn't have any expectations on me and people just let me cut their hair and I would cut their hair. I would watch the people that came to school to show us how to do designs, and instead of doing it at school, I would go home and do it. And I take pictures and I come back and I show them and people like, you ain't do that. Remind me too. Almost the same thing with truck driving. I did the bare minimum to pass. And I learned how to back up and park and all that shit out here. And I ain't just saying, by watching people in the parking lot, and by figuring out little techniques like this little shit I do, I watch other people and they do other things. They do it a different way. It worked for them. I do it work for me. And I'm getting better and better at it. And I guess you could attribute that to me not paying too much attention to the influences. I've been that way since school. I never really paid attention to the teachers. But it was already in me to learn how to do half of the stuff, or more than half of the stuff that they were trying to teach me to do anyway. I can't explain that. God, the only best way I can tell you. And while we bringing up God, I wouldn't feel right about it giving y'all his message, man, because it's part of who I am, part of who I belong. The other day, my nephew was stressing. I believe a few months ago I told y'all about the feds and all that other stuff, raid. But my nephew said that he had lost like 60 pounds stress. And I told him, man, it is, no matter how you see the outcome, good, bad, or indifferent, it's going to work out in your favor because that's how God works. I was telling the same thing to my mama yesterday about me telling it to my nephew, and I explained it to him like, look, when I was on my way to prison or in prison or fresh out of prison, it ain't no way you could have told me that what God wanted for me. But today I can open my eyes and realize that, hey, God didn't put me through nothing that he didn't bring me through. A better person. I came out of prison a better person than I was when I went in. Yeah, it was hard. It was very hard. I'm never going to say I just breezed through prison. It was easy. It wasn't. But what I know is it made me a better person in the end. Not only that, God was with me every day, even when I didn't realize it. And God knew that eventually one day I would be one of the ones that would open my eyes and see him for what he was and what he was doing for me. And I just try to tell everybody else, man, take that long road, man. It's not going to be easy. That's why I call it the long road, because it's going to be harder than that wrong road. But when you got faith in God, you're going to make it through that road. And you're going to make it to where you're going. And where you end up at may be so much better than where you thought you wanted to go. It may be so much better than where you thought you wanted to go. I went to school to be a barber when I came home from prison. Paul right here. One thing I told my mom about when I was talking about the prison I did 7 years in prison. I came home, all my homeboys were strung out on power, alcoholics, they deadbeats. You know what I'm saying? I can't name one person I was hanging with back then that I would want to trade places with right now. I can't name them. None of the niggas that I hung with, my homeboy, I don't want none of their lives. So I thank God that he kept me safe from that life, even if he had to keep me safe from that life in prison. See, I could be mad that I was in prison, but like I said, no matter what I went through in there, I came out sound mind, sound body. Don't none of that shit affect me right now to this day. All that time, I felt like that nobody loved me. I felt like I wasn't going to have a future. That don't affect me right now to this day. Them nights I was hungry and I ain't had no commissary, that shit don't affect me right now. The nights I thought I might not wake up, I might not survive, these dudes about to kill me tonight, that don't affect me right now today. Not in the least. Because God brought me through all of that. And that's why I always had sound mind and body, because I'm walking, I'm talking, I'm breathing, I use my limbs, and I'm not crazy. I'm not slow. I'm not affected mentally by the stuff I went through. It ain't always been the case. There was times when I was so overcome with stuff that happened to me when I was young that I couldn't see straight. I couldn't walk into my future because I was so busy doing this, looking back there at that bullshit. I made a big step yesterday. I told my mama, and this is what made me call her. When I was saying my prayers yesterday morning, my stepfather popped up in my head and I prayed for him too. Y'all know me, y'all know that man used to beat the shit out of me. mistakes. We may hate them for it. We may not want to forgive them for it. But humans make mistakes, man. I don't know why that man did the shit he did to me. He don't mean shit. But just like prison, none of the beatings he gave me affect me to this day. I don't feel that pain no more. It took a long time. I was in my 40s. I'm 43 now. I was probably about 40 when I finally learned how to let that shit go. I didn't know how to let it go. People was always telling me, you gotta let that go. You gotta let that go. Nobody explained to me how to let it go. I will explain to you how to let go of things that people have done to you. I'm going to you right now to make it so easy that you have a better life today. Think about this. And no matter what the answer is, just ride with it. No matter who it was that did it to you, no matter what it was they did, does it have any physical effect on you right now? Not no mental effect. Sometimes that mental effect linger for a while. We're going to show you how to get away from the mental effect. If a person beat you as a child, does it hurt right now? If a person stole some money from you, does it hurt right now? No matter what they did, do you feel it at this moment? Because if not, then you already made it past it. If it do, give it to God. Don't pray to God like, God, I don't want the pain no more. You take it. God, they stole the money, and even though I can forgive them until you're homeless, but this your situation to fix, not mine. Because I'm going to tell you now, you don't end up homeless without God allowing you to end up homeless. That's your moment to come closer to Him, to beg for forgiveness for whatever you did to forgive people that did something to you, and let God take it, and then watch His miracle. It's that easy. And I'm not going to say shit don't happen overnight. I'm not going to say that it will or it won't, but sometimes it do happen overnight. You don't recognize it. It took me a long time. I've been out of prison 18 years. I'm just now realizing that's what God wanted me to go through. I'm just now figuring out all the blessings that came from me being in prison. Because I could have been out here a stone cold junkie. I could have been out here alcoholic, kids all over the place, beating on somebody's daughter, committed a bigger charge, and ended up in prison for the rest of my life, never coming home, all type of shit. I could have been out here gang banging and shooting it up and drove my mama crazy. So it's a double-edged sword, man. You gotta start looking at stuff the other way. But mainly, if somebody has done you wrong, forgive them. If you just ended up in a bad situation and you ain't got nobody to blame, give it to God. That's how you let go. Whatever it is, give it to God. It's not your problem no more. Besides, I promise you, He's gonna be able to handle it a lot better than you is. His shoulders and his back a lot stronger than yours. You ain't got to carry that weight. Man, my life was messed up for a long time because I was carrying weight I wasn't supposed to hold. I wasn't supposed to have that. And people just didn't understand how to tell me, hey, let it go. That's helped me let it go. And I'd be like, how? Like, I would literally be crying, yelling at my mom and my sister, like, how am I supposed to let this go? And they just tell me, I don't know. But you got to figure out a way. When they should have just been telling, hey, man, go in that room, get on your knees and pray. While you praying, get that shit to God. And when you come back out of your room, don't bring that shit back out the room with you. Leave it there with God and let Him handle that. Okay. Let me try that. Because everything else I've been doing ain't been working. You know, wise people would tell you, like, forgiveness ain't for the other person, it's for you. And it is. That's what I'm telling you right now. When you forgive a person, that's you saying, hey man, I'm not gonna hold on to this grudge. I'm not gonna hold on to the bad shit that you did to me. It's forgiveness. Thing about it is, they the ones did the bad shit, so they the ones finna be holding. Now you got to go to God and ask for forgiveness. I let it go. I'm not finna be held down or weighed down or held back or consumed with what you did to me. That ain't for me, that's for God.
Please reduce speed. Please reduce speed.
I'm just saying, man. So if y'all dealing with something, man, and that just ain't for you, it ain't your problems, that ain't your issue. You don't want to deal with that. And I'm not talking about your responsibilities. I'm talking about your problems, your burdens. Give it to God. It's simple. Maybe that's my sermon for the day. Because I'm gonna tell you, it's a lot more simple than we understand. God wants these burdens that He gives you, but God wants you to come to Him and give Him them burdens. He know you dealing with it. He waiting on you to pop up. He waiting on you to say, God, this for you. This ain't for me. Who this for? This for you. This ain't for me. I'm just holding it so I can get to you. Now I'm here on my knees. I'm here at the altar. I'm here in prayer. I'm here in silence. I'm here in solitude or whatever it is. Whatever way you find yourself making it to God. When you get there and give Him all that stuff, you can't do nothing with it. All that stuff you don't need and you don't want. See, God gonna take your lemon and make lemonade. And I know it's hard to believe sometimes, man. It's hard to look at the situation you in and feel like, you know what? God got me too. Yeah, even you, He got you too. I'll be looking for the right words because I know there were so many times in the past where people didn't have the right words to get me understand. And this is another thing I told my mama yesterday. I wish I was in church as a kid, and there was kids in that church that got it. Wholeheartedly following God and believing the word and everything back then. Not me. Preacher didn't have the right combination of words, phrases, and sentences to make me believe, to make me understand. That's why I pray that I have the right words, because I know the right words that have people coming closer to God a lot faster. The right words will help you fix your life a lot sooner. It took me so long because I never heard the right words. When I heard the right words, I want to say they came from God Himself, and they did what, as always, God used somebody else heard something on YouTube in my sleep. I woke up out of my sleep today. I peed on myself. And right when I jumped up, I heard words that I needed to hear way back when I was a kid, but I unlocked everything I had did. And I said, God, I understand. Say no more. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, them words was for me. That was right exactly to a T what I needed to hear. And just so we have an understanding, and in case somebody new on here pop up on this later on, and they need to hear these words, I'm going to give y'all these words again. Ever since I was young, one of the things I would use to convince myself that God wasn't God was Job. I would always look at the story of Job like, how can you run to a God so gullible that he let the devil pull the wool over his eyes? I'll explain this. Job was God's most faithful servant, and God knew that. The devil knew that. But one day the devil calls up the guy and like, hey, let me play with him. Let me put him through some things, and I bet you I get a return on it. My thing is, God knows ahead of time this is my most favorite servant. He's not going to turn on me. I already know this. So why did you get the devil permission to go over and mess with this man? I went to prison, y'all, and I told y'all all the bad things that happened to me. Right now to this day, God made it whole. He made it right. Don't none of this shit out. I can look back to sleep with God clean like you don't owe me nothing for that, bro. Same thing with Job. Now let me explain to you what my problem was. I said, okay, you made the man sick, you gave him diseases, you gave him plagues, you brought him back. Okay. You took all of them, you gave him back. Okay. What about the crops? You took all his crops, you gave him back. Okay. What about his kids, God? The kid that ain't kids. And even though you gave him new kids don't replace old kids. So if I had 10 kids and you killed them, and then later on you give me 10 more, I don't have 10 kids. I got 20. And 10 that you still killed. You took them from me. You can't give them back. Well, in this dream, when I woke up, I told you I heard the magic words. What I heard was, first of all, God got my attention by making me feel myself and jump up out the bed. That way, I would be able to hear the words that was about to be said as soon as my feet hit the floor. My feet hit the floor. I'm snatching blankets and shit off the bed because I just beat the bed. Grown ass man. I was in my truck. My phone was playing while I was asleep. And what I heard when my feet hit the floor was, a lot of people think that God took them kids from Job and he couldn't replace them. Well, I'm here to tell you that those was God's kids. They was never Job's kids in the first place. Second, God took them kids home with him to heaven. And when Job dies, he knows that he will be reunited with them same kids in heaven with God. So how is the kids gone? They ain't going nowhere but heaven. You'll see them again when you get there. And you as God's most favorite servant, as long as you keep being obedient like this, you are promised to get there. So Job went around his life with his new 10 kids. And that was a blessing because now I don't have 10 kids, I got 20. And one day, me and all 20 of my kids will be in heaven. All them crops God took, he gave them back. Big and better. All them animals God took, he gave them back. Big and better. But he took them 10 kids, and now I got 20. Bigger and better. My kids is in heaven. heavy waiting on me. Now I'm paraphrasing. But it was like a snap in the face. I'm sitting like, why didn't nobody ever say it to me like that when I was challenging God all this time? When I thought I was being super smart, super slick, telling people why God was wrong, why did none of these preachers and none of this, nobody come and tell me anything? God working a different way than what you understand. So when you read this and this is what you understand, one day God gonna pull the wool from over your eyes and you gonna say, damn, God did it again. And that's how God be working in my life. I opened my eyes, and just when I thought something wasn't going to be right, it's better than expected. Just when I thought I could barely make it, I go further than where I was trying to get to. And I can pretty much, let me not tell you that I can pretty much pinpoint when it started happening, but I can pretty much pinpoint when I started realizing it's been happening all my life. I can see where it was happening way before that. I just wasn't in tune with God, so I wasn't realizing that every day of my life He was bringing me through something. I don't know what this got to do with it. When I was a kid, I would regularly wake up while I'm still asleep. I can't think of what this called right now, but I'm going to explain it to you a little more. My mind would wake up, my body would still be sleeping. I can't breathe. I'm paralyzed. I can't move. But my mind is fully awake. And I know I can't breathe. I know I can't move. And I'll be fighting, trying to just move a finger or move a toe or anything, because I know once I can just move one little anything, I'm going to get my mobility and my breathing back. And by the grace of God, it always happens. So, when I say, I know what it feels like to be grateful just to wake up with air in my lungs. Because I had plenty of times where I woke up and didn't have no air in my lungs. I had plenty of times I woke up and I couldn't open my eyelids. Now, when I was young, I don't remember being in them situations and praying about it. I don't remember calling on the name of God, not saying I didn't. But I remember thinking, and this is what I remember. I remember waking up and knowing I couldn't move or breathe, like, damn, not just me. And I would go to fighting and struggling within my mind to try to move something so I could wake up. And then I wake up. Not move. And then I wake up. I don't know what I need to research it. I don't know what connection it had to this. I ain't gonna make it today. They push my delivery back to 5:45 in the morning tomorrow. I don't know what they gonna do to bring me home, so I don't know what time I'm gonna make it home, but I'm gonna try to get home tomorrow. I said, but the way God works, I got a feeling I'm gonna end up in Portsmouth, which I, cause my family going to Portsmouth. One of my cousins and a couple kids and family is in town. So my mom and my sisters and my nieces and
Left
everybody.
1240.
And I was like, man, I don't want to rush home. And I be sitting at home with all y'all and what's up. But I told my mom, I said, if the God work, I'm gonna probably end up in a situation where I'm coming to Forrestville and getting to kick it with y'all tomorrow before I go home. And then we all be headed home together. Well, this morning I wake up, I go do my delivery. I come back, let them know that, hey, I'm getting it. They call me back an hour later, like, hey, what's your time looking like for the day? I tell them, but then I make sure you know, like, hey, hold on, I'm supposed to be getting routed to the house. Like, I'm supposed to be coming home. They were like, okay, well, what about this? He say, I got to pick up in Russellville tomorrow. Pick up in Russellville tomorrow. Gas station, truck stop. He said, I got to pick up in Russellville tomorrow.
Continue on I-40.
At 8 o'clock in the morning, there's a trailer already loaded. It's at the Flying J. I'm like, I already loaded. I ain't got to go nowhere and get loaded. He said, yeah, you just got to, he said, drop off, pick it up in Russellville.
Keep left 1240.
Drop it off in Russellville. Drop off at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, yeah. I told him, I'm like, man, family, of course, so it give me time to go to Portsmouth tonight. Spend some time with them. He was like, man, do what you gotta do. You got time. I called my mama and let her know.
I-40 west.
Remember I told you how God be working? Well, he worked. He did exactly what I said he was going to do. Because God don't be disappointed. He be doing his little thing. That's why I continue to tell y'all everything he do for me. So you would know that, hey, man, maybe I need to start rest with God for me and man, to see if God can put me back, man. I promise you. That's what he do. He waiting on me. When I was young, they used to tell me, the way God work is, you take one step, he'll take two. And that's true. One more little story, I'm gonna tell them right when I was young, real young, like maybe 10 years young, I went to church. And my auntie was telling us that when you give out of your heart to the church, God will give back tenfold. And I'm thinking like, what tenfold means? She told me like, that's like God saying, if you give me $1, I give you 10 back. Well, I had $10. I put that whole $10 in the church. After church, my auntie took us to this little store, and all my cousins were buying stuff. And it was time to go. I had a long face, sad. I ain't had that. And my auntie passed away. He ain't want nothing. I'm like, I ain't got no money. She was like, nah, boy, you got some money. You had $10 for your money. I said, I put it in church. She's like, you didn't put all of it in church. I was like, yes, I did. She was like, why you put all your money in church? I said, because you said that God said that if you give $1